Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Give it a
Okay.
couple more minutes.
All right.
Hold on a second.
And I'm going to mute everybody. So Suzanne and Thomas, unmute yourself when you get a second.
I thought I did.
I was just trying to mute the last people that were coming in, so they didn't.
Don't do that with Suzanne because she gets confused with that. So don't
Okay.
do that.
Hi, Jackson.
Suzanne is still muted, Tracy.
There I am. I did it. I don't have total disabilities. I'm not so tech baggy.
Hey, Tracy, I was going to ask you also, can you make me a co-host?
Yeah, it came through you, so I can't. Otherwise, I would have.
Can you do that, Tracy?
She's muted now.
Yeah, she's muted.
I'm doing it. Hold on.
Okay. Because this way, if I'm talking, you can like do whatever you need to do whatever needs to be done. You're now a co-host. You see,
Okay.
I see you. See, I see what's going on.
Okay, great. Somebody said, if your volume is low, that would be on your side, guys.
Yeah.
You just turn up the speakers. Wouldn't be anything on our side with the volume. Mhm. Yeah.
Nope.
So we'll give it another minute or so.
Okay.
And then, we'll dive in and stuff. And while we have your attention, if you're in Tarrytown, Baltimore, or Sturbridge, Suzanne and I have in-person events coming up there. So we would love to see you there.
Also, the Circle of Wisdom, and that's an,
About that one, yep.
yeah. And you're being able to admit people, right, Tracy? Okay, good,
Yes, I am.
perfect.
Yeah, so. Okay, well, I think it's about that time. So we're going to get started. And Tracy, you got the recording on?
Yes,
Yes.
you see, Thomas, I'm not so bad. I'm backwards, but I can work these little buttons. I've been doing this too since the pandemic. I've learned how to Zoom. I just did a little. What's that called when you do a rhyme? That's it. See. See, I'm not all out to lunch.
Right. Well, we want to thank you guys for being here. Boy, it was real quiet with this event. And then all of a sudden in the last 24 hours, people just decided that they were going to come today. So we were really excited to see people coming and stuff. And I want to thank you. Any first timers, any first times, people
Some virgins. I love virgins.
Let's see who we've got here.
We love virgins. Okay.
We've got
Well,
Rachel, Jeannie. Hi, everybody. Marilyn Cafone, she says first time with Suzanne. iPhone says hello. Somebody said they saw me in Saginaw. Oh, wonderful, Jennifer. So this is basically how it's going to work, and obviously, the dead people are kind of running this whole thing anyway. So basically what's happening is
we're just being used.
Yeah, we just kind of connect. We basically will alternate, within reason sometimes, but basically, Suzanne will do one, I'll do one, Suzanne will do one, I'll do one. And
Well, it doesn't always work that way, Thomas. It's never tit for tat, because sometimes, I always like to, what I see, I want to say, I see dead people, but I also see boxes.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're in boxes, I can see the person in front of you, behind you. It could be part of that boxing. So I don't want you to think I'm a one-on-one person, because it's rare that I don't do two at the same time. So I don't want to confuse anybody by his information.
Yeah, we do that. But we'll kind of go, we'll go back and forth. I'll do a couple, she'll do a couple, I'll do, whatever happens. But we're going to kind of have a back and forth, as we'll. Whatever we feel drawn to and stuff. And again, this is the holiday season. The veil is thin, spirit is strong. So, and basically, we'll come directly to you. We may say something you connect with. So you do have to kind of be present here and give us your full attention, because we have the Zoom factor of things. And, if you connect with something, then, we want you to be able to connect and be able to communicate and things. So, yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind and stuff. So, Suzanne, do you want to start?
I think I do.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Mhm.
Okay, but before I do that, I have to check something out here. Oh boy. See, I'm getting two, and I don't know what I want to do with the two that I'm getting because I don't see them. So before I do that, I'm going to go backwards. Okay, and before I go backwards, okay, I got to do this. Okay, I saw two people with the name Sandy, but I'm not sure if it's the Sandy that I want to connect to that's on here, or it's the Sandy that's connected to somebody. So I'm just going to like set that for 2 seconds. But if somebody, has a Sandy that's crossed over, other than the Sandy that's online here, if you could raise a hand, that would help me, because if not, I'm going to go backwards again. Is there somebody that's connected to the Sandy who's crossed over? Because there's two Sandys here, and I want to make sure, because sometimes I don't know if it's the dead person or the living person that's here where I am. But I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, so I'm going to go backwards. And I want to go to Dory. I woke her up. She was almost falling down on the job. Okay.
Hi,
Hi, Dory. How are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
I am very well, but I'll let you know how I am in a minute after I talk to your dead persons. Okay, so really quick here. Is your mom crossed?
No.
Okay. There's a woman who keeps coming in and talking about your mother. So is her mom crossed?
Yes.
Is there an aunt also crossed?
Yes.
Okay. Is that connected to your mom or mine, your dad's side?
Well, I guess it could be both. They would
Okay.
both, yeah.
So it would make sense then it would be your mom's sister then?
No.
Okay, because unless your grandmother has a sister, I'm seeing an aunt.
Okay. No, it would be like a great aunt.
A big grand aunt. So would there be 3 females in that family, Dory? That were very connected?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so they're all piling in. Now, did you know any or all of them?
My grandmother, yes.
Okay, is she the one that lived in the big house?
It wasn't a big house.
But it was like everybody gathered in this house?
Mhm.
Okay, and was there like a garden or fences and stuff in the back?
Mhm.
Okay, so was she the gardener or was that punny connected to her?
She gardened a little bit.
Okay, somebody loved roses, had roses, smell roses, something.
Yes.
Is that the same person?
Yes.
Okay, I just kind of want to double check. Now, are they talking about you having a brother or mom, please?
No, neither of us.
Okay, there's a male who's also that's coming in who's crossed over.
Uh-huh.
That wouldn't be your dad or your mom's dad, would it?
Could be my dad.
Okay, so he's coming in with his mother-in-law who liked him.
His
So
brother-in-law.
no, his mother-in-law, your
Oh,
mom's
his
mom.
mother. Okay.
Okay, so the reason why I want to say this is that when I heard mother very strong, I knew whoever I was connected to was connected to your mom.
Mhm.
And when it's a husband and it's a dad, they often will come in that way because it's almost like they're watching over you and your mom, and their passing would have been a very big deal to your mom.
Yes.
And he's a cutie, by the way. He's an absolute cutie. He's a little bit of a flirt, so I've got to make him behave. And he's telling me that even if you don't think I'm going to be at the table this year, I'm going to be at the table this year. Because him not being at the table this year is a very big deal. Do you understand?
Mhm.
Now, if he's bringing in and he's talking about your mom, does that mean, I'm assuming you're still connected strong to mom then, Dory?
No, actually.
Okay. See, there's always a reason why they bring it to me this way. So does that mean mom is by herself
Yes.
And would this have been a big deal to your father?
I don't know, actually. I've actually been wondering how he feels
Okay.
about that.
So this is the deal. Because you were daddy's girl. That's why I'm telling you all this. Okay, with no
Yeah.
question about this. But this is why I want to sort of say this to you. I'll be very straight, and this is for everybody out there. I never tell people what they should and shouldn't do. And quite frankly, and I can be pretty bold with Thomas, is that that's never our job. Our job is not to tell you what choices you're supposed to make in our life. Our job is to connect with your loved ones that have crossed over, period. The rest of it is on you, okay?
Mhm.
Now, so the reason I'm sort of saying to you is this. Your father is a straight shooter. He don't BS around, so I'm going to give it to you how he's telling me, all right? You got to be really cool and really clear about your deal with your mom, because I'm not here, okay? And if you and I are here, we'd be batting about this. We'd be talking about this. I'm telling you, be talking about this. And he'd be saying like, okay, so what do you think, Dory? And it's sort of like, well, you know, it's your deal. It's your relationship with your mom. Whatever your relationship with mom was between I and and you got to be really cool about this, because in a moment if something happens to your mom, you got to be real clear about the program. Are you with me?
Hmm.
Do you have a sister too?
I do, yeah.
Okay, is she still here?
Yes.
Is she having the same thing with mom, or is that just you?
I don't know, actually.
Okay, so you see why your father's in here and why he's being very bold? Because you see, your father was the glue in the family. And when the glue in the family is no longer physically here, you know, it's called a lot of drama happens, okay? Not a little drama, a lot of drama. And so I know you said this today because he's telling me you wanted to know about the drama, the sister, the mom, and what's all going on here. And the man who your daddy's girl with, we can't have those chats. So he's telling me that you're a very wise young woman. And you know that. And you're very torn among this whole mess. I got it. I got it. But sometimes we got to search deep, because in a moment life changes, and you got to be real clear, my dear. If in a moment that life changes with any one of these players, you got to be cool with whatever your choices are. Now, we don't have daddy to throw this around with. Who's AL? Who's Al? L? Who's an AL or an EL name? Who is he talking about? Well, you could think about it. It's got to be AL or EL, because that's how I'm hearing it. But
Okay.
did he have a brother that also crossed?
No. He might be talking about my sister. Her name is Melody.
Okay, she's here.
Yes.
Is this the one we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so I see it's either within the name, because I'm hearing that sound. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
As long as we got the right player, that's all that matters. Because I know when I see letters, particularly L's, ELs for some reason, sometimes I'll get the sound within the middle. That's all. Now, so we're clear on that one. So I'm just telling you that this is his words of wisdom. Okay? And this stuff is impossible not to prompt out right before holidays. It ain't gonna happen. There is no way this is not going to be buzzing around your little brain, okay? Or your big brain. All right. And I want to ask you one thing here. Was education a big deal to your dad?
Yes.
Okay. He's talking about education. He's talking about teaching. He's talking about all that stuff. So I don't know, you know, if that is something that was a big deal for you or a big deal together, but I'm going to say he brings it up as being important. So I have to just sort of throw that at you.
Okay.
All right. And I'm taking you, I guess you went to school and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Good. He's just checking up on you.
Okay.
Okay. One other last thing here. I'm going to take it to be it's yours, his, or whomever within the family. And by the way, it could be this grandmother who's coming through, who is very central in the family, by the way. She was kind of like a mom to you in some ways, because she said we spent a lot of time, and that's why she showed up as a mom. You see, mothers don't have to literally be mothers. They can be women that took care of you. They can be aunts. They can be grandmothers, any of those, which is obviously why she showed up very strongly with the place of where you used to spend all this time. And you see, the reason she came through at the beginning before your daddy did is because this is how we celebrated the holidays. And that has become very painful now.
Yes.
And I'm sorry about that. I really am, because there's nothing worse. And I'm sure some of you all been there. There's nothing worse where we had really fun in the holidays many years ago, as they say, and then the family goes to what you're going through and it doesn't happen. And it's really, really hard because that was a very precious time for you and for these other people. So I want you to know she came in to bring that up to you, and that's why I hear mother. And I want to say doubly, I heard it from your dad. So that's kind of like where we are. So whatever you decide to do, my dear, Thanksgiving is for whatever we have thanks, and celebrate it with whomever you cares about you, or you care about them, or the people that you love. And love doesn't have to always be blood, because sometimes blood is just red, and that's about that what it is. And try to enjoy this time the best you can. And one last thing here, there is one thing in life that nothing can ever be taken from us, is your memories. At this moment, that might be all you have, is those memories of your grandma and your dad and whatever it is, but hold it dear to your heart, because you're always going to have it. And you always have that to go back to those moments. All right?
Mhm.
Okay. We're good.
Thank you.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome so much. Okay. I couldn't leave her out because it was just like the people were staying. Okay. Did you want to go ahead, Mr. Thomas?
I can. I have one if you want it. Mhm.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So I do feel, I don't know who I'm coming to with this, so I'm just going to bring it forward, and somebody can let me know in chat if they connect to this. But I do feel like I have somebody's father who passed very, very recently. I get the feeling that this would be definitely within the last year. He's talking about coming up on a first time of holidays without him. He liked to have the family around him a lot. And he's telling me that this would be very important. He liked to have all the different family members around him, and he liked when the family got together and stuff. I also see something about military service with him. I see things about being in the Army, military Army, but particularly I feel the Army. And I'm hearing two names. One is Jim or James, Jim or James, and I lost the other one, actually. I'm sorry. I was getting two names, but I lost another. So, and this person passed recently. You know, like I said, within Tracy, are you seeing anybody?
We
That's
are.
Geraldine. Geraldine.
Okay, hold on. We've got several people.
Okay, this is Geraldine. She's near Jill, and she's near Patty.
We've got Geraldine. We've got Mary.
No, Geraldine raised her hand.
This person also had 8 kids.
There you go. That'll narrow it down.
Okay, Geraldine still has her hand up.
Sorry, no, I don't think 8 kids. Maybe he was one of 8. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He's the
It's
youngest
her.
of 8. He has the
Okay,
youngest
that's
of
who it is. Geraldine, I'm
Yes.
telling you, that's
eight. He
it.
was in the Army. Yeah.
Great, so Geraldine, I'm gonna go,
And his name is Jim. His name is Jim.
okay.
My name is Dorothy.
Oh, okay.
Geraldine is one of my daughters.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, sounds good. So you're here.
I'm
Can
here.
you put this other person on mute, please? This Jeanine, you didn't make me a co-host, so I can't do that.
I did make a co-host. I'll do it again.
Yeah, make me a co-host too, but there's another person here that's unmuted, Jeanine or something. Okay. So what is your name, hun?
Dorothy.
Dorothy, okay. So I do feel that, so this is your husband coming through?
Yes.
So, and do you understand that he's talking about the family being together, everybody hanging out together? He liked really when the family was together. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Because he's telling me that it's hard without having that connection, because he was such a, he loved that and stuff. I also am seeing a lot of stuff in the outdoors. So I don't know if there would be something where somebody liked to be in the outdoors, or that keeps coming through too. Do you understand that?
Yes, he loved to cut wood.
Okay. And also, do you know, because I hear these names, I think they go together. So I kind of feel like you'd have to have all these names sort of in a group. But I'm hearing the name Mary,
His
Ted.
sister?
Mary and Ted.
Oh, your sister and her husband.
My
Today's her
sister
bir-
Mary, it's her birthday today.
Okay,
She has passed, and her husband Ted.
yeah, so they're coming through together also. And I don't know if this is their daughter or your daughter, but I think they're with a daughter, actually. Mary's
Yes,
with a daughter.
Kelly, her daughter Kelly that passed.
Yeah, so there's a daughter that's with Mary. Mary is telling me that she had a lot of health problems at the end. And she had a lot of, I guess she didn't see people as much for some reason, but I'm getting the feeling like I'm trying to understand what she's telling me. It's something about she didn't see the family as much, but it wasn't because she didn't love her family. It's more like, I don't know, I think she was going through so much that I feel like I don't know, I just got the feeling that maybe she couldn't do that or something. Can I ask you also with Jim, because I'm feeling this, I get the feeling that he was the type of person where he knew everybody, like everybody in the town knew him. He had a lot of different friends. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And
Yes.
also, he's bringing this up too. He's giving me a feeling of a celebration, like there's something around somebody that he's celebrating. And I don't know who Allison is or Allison.
His oldest
His
granddaughter.
granddaughter.
So there's something that's happening around her that he is very happy about, your husband, Jim. There's something, I don't know if you know about it, but there's something that he's celebrating about. He's very, very happy about this. And it's like he's giving me a feeling of, I don't know, something she accomplished. I don't really know what it has to do with. But I do feel like I'm hearing that. I also want to say too, just when I'm here, that your husband, because he's given me the feeling of being very family oriented in life and very family oriented on the other side. So he has a lot of loved ones with him. He knows that this year is going to be different as far as the holidays go, just because there's such a difference without him, being here and stuff. He did tell me that there's one of the children or one of his kids that is being more, I can't really explain it. It's like a kid where, well, not a kid because they're adults, but like one of his children that he's telling me, I don't know if they don't really want to come around as much. I don't know if they don't want to really be around as much. For some reason, I feel that and stuff. But he is saying that the people that, that the people that you do, the people that are part of the family that want to get together, he would like everybody to connect and be together, I feel. Are you going to be, do you plan to get together for the holidays?
We're still trying to figure that one out without him. That's, yeah.
I was going to say, it's not going to be easy because, and what I want to say too is it does feel like there's a feeling of kind of clinging to things in the past, kind of thinking about, well, this is how we used to do things. It may be, Spirit's telling me this, it may be with your dad that, you approach things a little bit differently. It may be that you don't do the exact same things that you did before, but I do feel that he does want you guys to get together. And and again, he's saying if everybody doesn't want together, maybe some people do, maybe, it doesn't have to be everybody, but I do feel like he's saying, hey, I do want the family to get together. I do want people to get together. I want that to happen. And he's kind of bringing that up and stuff. Also, is there anybody that recently was touching his ties or anybody that recently had his ties?
I
Because
went through his ties today.
okay, because he's referencing that he would have seen this. And I don't know also because he brings this up as a memory, I don't know also if there would be something where there would be either, I don't know if there would be a second home in Maine or if
Oh, God.
more that you guys would like, I don't know if it has to be an actual home. It could be something where It could be something where maybe it's not an actual home, but maybe it's a place that you visited all the time or something like that. But again, he is talking about not moving on without him, because of course I feel like he's so connected to the family and stuff, but he's just telling me that things are very different now and it has a different sort of feeling about things and stuff. And I do get the feeling that he's saying, whatever you guys do, whatever you come up with is fine, but he will definitely be there. I get the feeling that this gentleman really liked Christmas. He liked the holiday season. He liked the religious aspect of it too. I feel
Absolutely.
would be an important part of it, not just the fun stuff of the holidays, but remembering this religious significance to it too. And I do feel that he's saying that this is a time where, you know, everybody would get together and stuff. And so again, it's going to be different, but you will feel him around you a lot. He is telling me that he knows that you guys are really wanting to feel connected to him and feel around him more. So you definitely will get, you know, senses from him. I feel he is telling me that. So.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I'll leave you with that. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Suzanne, you want to go?
Yeah, I have a box here and I got to see where I am with the box, and I'm going to give you the names of the box people. And then the one that like knows what I'm talking about. Well, there may be a couple of you. Okay. It's a Marilyn and a Mary and a Mary. That's why I have to preface this. Okay, so I keep hearing brother. So did somebody lose a brother? Yes. Okay, so it is Marilyn. I thought it was, but I just wanted to double check here. So just real quick, you can undo her.
Hi, I got it. Hi,
Hi.
Suzanne.
So does that
I'm
mean that?
Marilyn.
My
This is
brother.
my daughter.
So would this be your son then, Marilyn? Okay.
Yes.
Well, he's a ball buster. I don't mind telling you, because it's like he's on the back of me and my head. You know, like he must have been some like a Dionysus. You know, like the lover type people. I mean, he's just like. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I kept saying, like, I'm a little older than you. I know you got like a thing going on here, but you know, I ain't the one for you. So calm down.
That's him.
And he has gorgeous hair. I mean, like absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous hair. Now, first of all, he's telling me this. So he have an extremely strong family. So that's sort of the deal. And essentially because he was also the center of the family. But is your mom also past, Marilyn?
No,
Okay, is it his dad? He said he's with a grandma.
he's with my dad. Today's my dad's birthday. They
Oh,
passed.
that's what it is. Okay, thank you. Because they're coming together. And your dad's mom would be passed?
Yes.
Okay, so he's coming with the grandma and he's coming with his father. Now, I hear double sounds. So is he named after dad? Is his first and middle name passed down?
No.
Okay.
His father is still alive. It's my
Oh,
father.
Got it. Okay, so where am I
My
hearing?
grandmother.
So there's a Joseph or there's a George, one of those guys that are hanging that are connected with him.
I don't know.
No.
Okay, think about it because they're coming with him. Now, real quick, so it's your dad that just crossed, not his?
Correct. My father
Okay.
died 2 years ago.
Got it, on this day.
His grandfather. My son's
Okay.
grandfather.
Okay, and so he knew them, correct?
Yes.
And they must have brought him over because that's what he's telling me. Okay, were there lung issues with his? I feel like I'm heavy in my chest. I feel like I can't breathe. So something, is that how he passed? Okay, because he's telling me, Mom, I'm breathing really, really well now, and I don't think I was at the end. Do you understand that? And
Yes.
he said, my mother is like you got to be honest. It's very hard to be serious with this dude. Okay. I mean, he's like, all he wants to do is crack jokes, have a good time. He doesn't want to be a downer. I mean, you got to understand that I'm having it's like, you know, besides the flirting with me, it's just like personality wise, it's like, hey, you know, it's like, I'm doing fine. Though, don't worry about me. My lungs are fine. I mean, I'm breathing wonderful. I am like myself again. And you need to know that because I don't want you to think of how I was then and how I am now. Got that? And he says, my mother is such a worrier. He says, such a worrier. She's such a worrier. Now, he's telling me who has the black dogs? Because there's a dead black dog on my feet.
Apollo, and Apollo's not doing good right now.
No, I had a black and white dog, and then I still have the other two black ones.
Okay, do you have one that's dead?
I have three that's dead.
Okay, he's got them with me. They're all in front of me. Okay, and he must have either grown up with them. And it's interesting. One must have been big because I almost feel like it's a bear. It's like I feel like this was like, and not maybe it was his name, but I feel like I'm really doing bear hugs with him from what he's telling me.
Diesel. Yes.
Now, okay, was he living? He wasn't living with you, was he, Marilyn?
With me, he
No,
With you,
he wasn't
okay.
living with her. Well, he wasn't, not towards the
was.
end,
Not towards
no.
the end, but he did live with me.
Okay, so I
In
wanna
every
know-
house I lived in, my brother lived with me.
Okay, because it's like he said there's still his stuff. He said there's still his stuff. I mean, like you must have some of his stuff from what he's telling me.
I do. I
Okay.
do have some of his
And,
stuff.
was he a music freak?
No,
Okay,
I mean, he loved music, but he didn't
Yeah.
play anything. And
okay.
he
'cause he-
danced.
It's interesting. He's got headphones on. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like he must have always had headphones on, and maybe he did that to dance or kind of whatever it was. Now,
Yeah.
there's a Michael that's connected to him, and I don't know who Michael is.
Michael's my husband,
Oh, okay.
or it could be his grandfather.
My
Okay.
grandpa Mike.
So that's the double name that we're hearing. Got it. Now, so Michael's your husband, but not his dad, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but he's telling me I was connected to Michael.
He practically raised both of my children,
Because
yes.
you see, he's calling him a dad, and he's saying you shouldn't call him Michael because he said he's my dad.
Yes.
Yes.
And he says he has never gotten over his crossing.
Who, Mike?
Yes,
My
he never
husband's
got
never,
never got over his crossing. And I think he has a tremendous difficulty talking about it.
he does.
Now, it's
What-
interesting. So I have to ask you this, please. And you might not know who he's talking about. Okay. But he's telling me that we do shot glass of toast.
We used to do that. on
Okay.
holidays.
He's telling me we always do a shot glass of toast. He says, I want you to do a lot of them this year. Okay. Because I plan on joining him. Now, he's also telling me this, and I'm hoping that you know who it is. He says there was a guy that I went to school with, I was very close to, that died before me.
Yes. Marielle.
Oh, Mariel's brother.
My
yeah.
best friend's brother died 7
Okay.
days.
So
My
remember I told you there was another Mary?
Yes,
That's
Marielle.
Marielle. Yes. And he says, you need to tell her that he came through with me tonight because
That's
like-
the Michael.
that's the Michael. Thank you. That is quite literally the reason why that he's coming through because they're going through what you're going through. Now, I don't think anybody died this way, but I keep hearing like train tracks and trains and loud trains. And I don't know if somebody lived near train tracks or they live near the train tracks, but they're showing me trains. Did anybody collect trains? I'm telling you, they're talking about trains really strong.
Not that I would know.
Okay,
Towards the end, I do not know where my father lived.
okay, so that might have been a lot to do with it. Okay, because it's literally, somebody I feel like lived near, I don't mean like other side of the tracks, because that's some of, but this is literally living near, I hear trains quite literally. So would your boy have known your dad? He would have, right?
Yes, but they hadn't seen each other in years.
I didn't think so, because he said we were estranged.
Yes.
Okay, either he or somebody else was a pipe or a cigar smoker, because I smell it.
Dad, me and Dad.
I don't know if my father-in-law or my dad ever smoked
But me
pipes or,
and Dad.
but they're talking about past.
No. Who's
Oh.
Yeah,
she?
that's why.
Who-
My dad, Mike, my dad
Yes.
and I, he used to be very into cigars.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You know, you better chill out there, Marilyn. Okay, so he's crossed over then?
No,
No.
my dad hasn't crossed over.
Okay, so it's your brother's identifying by all the stuff is what I'm trying to say. He
Yeah.
knew all of this stuff that was kind of like that was going on, and he would be
Yeah.
part of the family as well. Do you understand that? Yes. Now, so he's telling me this, that you must have been there when he crossed over because he said he arranged for everybody to be there.
No,
that's-
I was not there when he crossed over, but I did the entire wake and funeral.
Okay, because he's telling me everybody was around. I mean, he's telling me that everybody was there of what was going on. And you must have done a shot glass because he talks about the shot glass.
I just went through his things that his wife sent me. And in there was one of his shot glasses.
Okay,
And I just
So-
found it.
so remember I just said to you, people were going through his things? That's what he's talking about. Yes. And so I'm taking his wife is still here
Yes.
and you guys are connected. Do I dare ask? I thought so.
No.
You see,
We are because there's a child involved, but
that's
we
all
own-
that you need. So you need to say more because I kept saying, oh, I'm hearing another Lori story. Okay. But boy, I pick them, man. Okay. So this is the deal. All right. Is this a boy?
Who?
The child?
No. Well,
The
there
girl?
is a boy and there's a
Okay.
girl.
Okay. Your son is telling me one's a spitting of him.
That's my grandson Carter.
Okay, thank you. So he's telling me this. So real quick here, are the kids in your life?
Carter is.
Okay, so it's real important here. And I know you can do this whether you like it or not, okay? Either you, Marilyn, or you, Mary. The other one, the daughter, yeah, that's the one we don't see. Okay, I'm sure you have tried to do this, but I don't want you to, I just said, I don't tell people what to do, but now I'm telling you what to do. Okay, so I know you've done this, but I don't want you to give up on the kiss and ass game.
I text.
Okay, and I'll tell you why, because your son said, my mom is not an ass kisser, and that's why I have to tell you this. She's too proud, and this is her granddaughter. And she says, why should I have to kiss ass to see my granddaughter?
There's more to that, though.
Okay, but whatever it is, we might have to swallow some. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay,
I mean, I've gotten as far as texting.
okay, that's great. Whatever it is, she's got a lot of your family blood. Okay, and she needs to have a connection with Carter. That's what this is all about. So,
Okay.
maybe you and Lori should have a drink together and figure out where the hell did they go? Where'd she go? I've lost her.
I'm here.
Lost her. Yeah, you're
I'm
here,
here.
but I don't see you. So you moved. Somebody moved you. Oh yeah. Okay, bring her
So
back.
I don't know where your screen, where the people are, the boxes of the people, but you see the little
Okay.
blue arrow on the top. If you move it,
I know
you-
it moved. I know all that stuff. Wait a minute. I gotta find Marilyn and then back again here. Oh yeah. There they are. There they are. Okay, cool. All right. So they moved me because you and Lori and them are together. Okay. So I'm just telling you, you might have connected with Lori and you guys need to talk this thing out. But my point is this, is that your son, true to who he is manipulating all this in his way. Now, they can't interfere with our path, but because they love us and they want the connection to happen, and it's supposed to happen, they will do what they can. Do you understand that?
yes.
This kid will not take no for an answer. I don't know how else to give it to you. No is not in his vocabulary. It just is not. And he says, my sister knows that.
Yes.
If anybody knows that, my sister knows it because she was always trying to pull shit with me and I wouldn't let her get away with it. So that's his deal. Now, he does say this, and he's being straightforward about it. And I think he admitted that when he was here, to be honest with you. He goes, I chose a great family, but I didn't choose the best relationships.
Oh, that's so true. That is so true.
So you're left with the ask, whatever you want to do, but just don't give up. Keep the prayers coming. He said, we're you and Dad. He's working out. He's got the whole team on board here.
Thank you.
Okay. And
Yes.
one other last thing here. Did he wear baseball caps?
Yes.
Okay, so did he have a collection of them too?
Yes,
Yes, so who has that collection?
I only have, I only was able to get one.
Okay,
Who's here?
okay. Well,
Patty
maybe,
did it.
maybe they will have to go with the sections here, but I will tell you, he like you would never know him without a cap on. And I don't know if he had like favorite teams and stuff, but he was like, whatever he was into it. I'll tell you.
Yep, very
So
much.
he was devoted to what was important to him. That I will tell you.
Yes,
That I will definitely tell you.
yes, he was.
And this is between me and your sister. He says you're doing well by mom, even in her moments, and I want to thank you for that because you know I know it's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah, you're still my girl. You know that. Okay. Okay. And one last thing here. I am not even going to say that I'd be remiss in this, but you both have had visitations from this young man.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We know.
He's pretty vocal. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's pretty vocal. And you will pass on the connection with Michael because they're like hurting like you guys.
We will.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're,
you.
you're welcome so much. You're good. Okay, Mr.
Oh.
Thomas.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I actually, I don't know if, I've got 3 people that are next to each other here.
Now you're like me. Now you're getting boxes.
I'm getting boxes too. So I've either got Kayla or Kelly or Mary Sharunen. One of your, it's your mother coming in. And I'm seeing beautiful gardens. So I know somebody's mom's coming through and it was like the gardens were a huge deal. Anybody taking this? Okay, great. My mom is still, oh, Kelly is raising her hand. Kelly, can you hear me? Nope, your mic is not working.
Yes, I can. Can you?
Okay.
There it is. There it is.
Sorry.
So did your mom have the gardens and the flowers and all that? Okay.
Yeah.
And Kelly, was that something, I feel that was something that was a big, that was a big thing for your mom. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's who she was.
I want to tell you this, Kelly, it's weird with your mom because she's telling me that she was simultaneously very surprised that she passed, but in a way she also expected it. So I don't know if she was sick and it came on quickly. I kind of am getting both. I do feel like her passing was very unexpected and quick, but she's
Very.
also telling me that she knew it was coming. Was she having any health problems?
She was always someone that was incredibly stressed, high blood pressure. Like, I think she was always afraid she was going to die very young because it was hard to explain. She wasn't very happy.
Okay, got you. Because I just have to tell you, Kelly, this is something that she showed me. And may I ask you, were you there with your mother when she passed?
No, I was not.
Okay. Were there people around her? Did some of the family go to see her or something?
Yes, my nephew, who's now my son, was in her care. And he found her, and then my husband went right there, and my sister and my father.
Okay. I also
And
need
her-
to ask you, why would I need to reference the name Kevin?
Oh my God, it's my brother.
Okay.
That's why my nephew is with me now.
Okay.
He can't take care of him.
So your nephew who's in the living world is
Yes.
because of all the drama with him.
Yep, my nephew is Kevin's son.
Okay, got
Now
you.
he's my son.
Now he's your son, right? And you're helping him and things like that and stuff. Is some of this, can I ask you, is some of this after your mom passed? Like, did you get more involved with your nephew since your mom went to the other side?
Yes, I always was, but he came to us immediately.
Right.
upon her.
That's what I was feeling. I felt like you were kind of always there a little bit,
Mhm.
but then you kind of took in a more of a role. And I feel like your mom knows about this. And I get the feeling that she's very happy about this. This is something that she feels is a positive thing.
Good.
Also, I'm hearing about this too. Your mom is telling me that your mom is telling me that there's things that, well, actually, I want to tell you this. Why would she reference something about you having her sweater? Or do you have a sweater of hers? I feel like you must, I don't know, do you have a sweater of hers?
We have some sweaters. My daughters took some of her sweatshirts that were special to them, and they wear them a lot to make them feel better.
Yeah. I also want to tell you too, because I'm getting a feeling about this. I feel with your mom that she's telling me that she's been making a lot of visits also. And I don't know if you've been having things with her where she's been kind of around you more, but she's giving me the feeling of making a lot of visits around you. And also, she's talking about this, about trying to help you sort out things. I don't really know if it's about your job or what exactly it is, but it feels like there's a lot of kind of, which direction do you want to go? Which direction are you going to go? I don't know if you're making some changes or something in that way. But I do feel that. Do you understand that at all?
Kind of. I mean, I'm just a
Also,
mom.
this too. Somebody has met up with your mother in spirit who died of MS.
Her mother.
Okay, so there's somebody that comes in that was with her and was able to greet her and stuff.
Oh, thank God.
So I need to talk about this too. Mom says recently, and I don't even think you were looking for it, but recently you saw her handwriting. There was something where I feel, I don't even get it. It was like something where you were looking for something else, but you came across your mom's handwriting. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Do you have
Yes.
things in her, you must have things that are in her handwriting and stuff, do you?
Yes. I'm the executor of her estate, so I have all kinds of, bills and things
Yeah.
like that.
I also want to say too, Mom says in heaven, she says, I finally got my beach house.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
She never really got one, but she's able to have that over there. And also, she's talking about something about, have you gotten butterflies?
Yeah. Yeah.
That comes up too, I feel, yeah.
Oh, good.
Interesting. Your mother is telling me that, in the grand spectrum of things, she was kind of younger to pass. And not like she was 20 years old, but
Yeah.
like
Very.
she didn't really have a full life.
No.
And but one of the things is that she wants to focus on the life that she did have and the life that she did enjoy and the life that she did get a lot of stuff out of. And she keeps talking about that. And she's saying that I don't want to dwell on the time I didn't have. I want to remember the time that I did have. Okay.
So,
Does that make sense to you a little bit?
yeah.
And she also says that she's glad you're talking. I don't know if you're glad you're. Who's Tracy?
Tracy?
Yeah, Tracy. Oh no, it's
Stacy.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I heard it again, and it wasn't Tracy. Yeah, Stacy.
Stacy's my sister.
You guys kind of. I feel like you're connecting. You're spending time together. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. And our kids too.
Yeah. Mom is talking about this being kind of showing me this being the new family. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's almost like with your mom passed, it's going to be you and your sister and your kids. And I kind of feel everybody else is like on, and obviously, I am including your nephew in that because it's like he is your son. So he's being put in this, you know what I'm saying? But I see there being more, not as maybe as much with other people and stuff like that. But Mom was just talking about, she's literally showing me kind of it's kind of like you're renegotiating things, not negotiating, but it's like there's new lines being drawn. There's new things being figured out with your sister. There's new things about, okay, mom's passed, how do we do this? What are we, the next thing that we do about this? And so I do feel that mom is bringing that up and just kind of saying, there's a feeling about that. So does that make sense to you a little bit?
Yeah, it's been a lot of adjustment and change over a very, very short period of time.
Yeah.
But
So
things are settling down quite a bit, but
that's what I'm
a lot
feeling.
of,
That's
lot
what
of moving pieces.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Things are settling down a bit and things are getting back to a place where it's just a better energy now. So, and nothing is going to bring back your mom, but she's happy that you guys are kind of in a healing stage. Okay. Yeah.
I have one question and it's hard because sorry, my nephew's here. I don't want him to be upset, or not nephew, son. His adoption recently went through a couple months ago, but I've obviously been in a lot of therapy because this has only happened within the past, 18 months or 2 years or so, not even. Has she gotten over her anger, or like we did not have a happy relationship with her. Like it was like she didn't really want to or know how to be, like, her best wasn't, unfortunately, what you would want
Right.
from a mom.
You,
And that's been really hard for us.
right. You weren't happy with her because she wasn't happy. So because of that, she kind of just took things. She's actually more at peace on the other side than she was when she was alive.
Okay. We've all kind of thought that this was like the only thing that could happen.
So she's been able to kind of go into a different step. The thing with her is, she had a lot of anxiety. She had a lot of depression.
Yeah.
She had something. I think she also had a lot of trauma when she was growing up.
She would never really talk about it. So,
Right.
but yes.
I think there's parts of this that she didn't ever talk to you about, but she
No.
had a lot of trauma going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of that, it created anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of secrets in this family, in a way.
Yeah.
I feel in the family that she's commenting about. She's also talking about, let me just ask you this. Who is Lori?
Oh, her sister.
Okay. Now, do you have a relationship with her?
Yes, we're very close.
And have you talked to her about this? Have you asked her, what
Yes.
things with your mom?
Yes. And she would never talk to her about it either.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard for her because she never was told anything, never was told what the truth or whatever. And so she, has continued her relationship with my mother's father, etc. Because nothing ever was told to her, but she's pretty angry too.
Yeah, I just am getting the feeling with your mom that there were things where things were handled in a certain way.
Yeah.
Definitely were things that it just feels like your mom, didn't, that she just bottled things up. So now she's been able to have a release of that. And I do feel that she does kind of wish things were a little bit, yeah. So. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Kelly, God bless. Suzanne, you want to go?
Yeah, I got actually two things going on here, and I really honestly don't know what I want to do. I know what I want to do with one, but I don't know what I want to do with the other. So I just got to get a show of hands here because I got to get some clarity here. And I don't usually get stuff like where I'm not sure where they want me to go. So there's a young man here, and he died from some kind of a bullet wound. Now, I don't know. I don't think he was murdered. it seemed to be accidental. So there's a Wendy that has her hand up. There's two people that have their hands up. Okay, and they're next to each other, which is who I was looking at, and they're right next to me. So there's a Wendy and there's a Rebecca. And they're right next to each other, Thomas. Oh no, and Marilyn's doing this with her hands. And she's right on the same row. So this must have been connected to her also from whoever's, unless her son is coming back again. Jesus. Okay, so can you unmute? Mute it. Wendy's unmuted, right?
Yes.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, so they're all in the same box right next to each other. That's why I wanted to ask, because Wendy has it, and then there's next to her, well, Marilyn is doing, and this is the Samsung person, is your hands up too?
Rebecca was his son, was his wife, was my
Oh.
son's wife,
Oh,
who died of a bullet wound.
okay. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so now he's finished everything he has to say. So tell him to go home, leave me alone. Okay, but I want to go to Wendy now because she's right next to you, which is crazy. That's why I couldn't figure that I was coming back to you again. It made no sense to me. So I'm so glad. Okay, so you're unmuted, right, Wendy?
Yes.
Okay, great. So is this
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So is this a younger male connected to you?
Yes, it's my son.
Son, okay, thank you. So you can thank Marilyn's son for bringing him in. He has to really hold the show, this dude. I mean, he like wants everybody to, build the world around him. Okay, so first of all, I want to say
Thank
that
you.
I don't know if your son was a hugger, but he's hugging you. So I just have to tell you that that's the first thing that he's doing. He's coming, he says, my mom needs to hug because we were big huggers, and that's kind of what he's doing. I don't know who Christine is or Christopher or whatever, but I hear that sound. So that must be somebody connected to him from what he's telling me.
His other brother.
Okay, is that brother still here?
No.
So they're together.
Perfect.
So those two brothers and Marilyn's son are all together. I just want you to know there's a party going on here because
Yeah,
her
my
son's
son
up-
was very social.
Okay, well, so isn't her son. He's a partier. So you've got the whole thing going on here. So it's the one that died of a shot, a gunshot.
My son, yes, the
Okay.
first one, yes.
Okay, so it wasn't an intentional one. Am I correct on that?
We don't know. It's an unsolved
Okay.
mystery.
The reason why I'm asking is that he's showing me from behind. And I feel like this must have happened from behind. Like either he didn't know what was going on, or he didn't know the circumstances, or he didn't know the people. I feel like I'm behind. And I don't know if you know this, but he left his body instantly, honey. You need to know that. Okay. It says boom,
He was
I'm
found
gone.
in his bedroom, so.
He said boom, boom, and gone. So that's kind of where we are. But I have to tell you, for some reason, I don't know why. I don't get intention. So I have to tell you it that way. So I don't know if it was an accident or somebody was fooling around. Or, do you know what I'm saying, Wendy? But that's kind of what I'm getting. So I have to tell you what he wants me to know. And I feel like he wants you to know this because number one, he doesn't want you to worry. And number two is that this is an impossible situation to even begin to solve. Do you understand that?
Absolutely, I understand.
So rather than going through that whole dynamic, to be honest with you, he wants you to remember like that he left his body right away. He would not have been right if he would have survived. That I'm going to tell you, you know that.
That's
Do you understand
important.
this? Yes. And this was a very magnificent young man. I mean, he was always busy. He was always active. He loved everybody. He loved his family. He loved his
Absolutely.
mom. So he wants you to feel like that's the way he left this planet. Now, did he cross over before the other brother, or is it am I the other way around?
There were two that died at birth, and then he was the baby. But
Okay.
he lived to be 23.
Got it. So they were they must have brought him over because he's telling me the brothers were there. So I have to take that to be quite literal. Okay. Now he's telling me this.
They're together.
Okay. They're all together. There's a June, July birth or passing with somebody. I'm not sure who that is. If that's them or somebody else.
Yes. Well, my father died in July, and one of the younger boys was born July 22nd. My father
Okay.
died July 17th.
Got it. So they're all coming together with your boy. Okay. Now, who had like workshops, Wendy? Like who used to have workshops or you know, like you had a place like that where they used to go and hang out and do all that kind of stuff?
Well, my living brother has a wood shop.
Okay. So would he have been connected to your son?
Not really, no.
Okay. Is that, you mean your dad's passed?
My dad passed before I was born.
Okay. So he's the one that's talking about his son then. He must be making reference to your brother.
Okay.
Okay. So his passing would have been a big deal to you and your brother, correct on that?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
no, different father.
Different
It's
father.
very
Okay.
complicated family.
Well, everybody's complicated tonight. Okay, so then my question would be this:
Right.
is that the brother that he's
But
talking
those
about?
boys are also born, but the brother and his twin are also born July 22nd. So
Got it.
that may
Okay,
be the connection.
that's probably the connection. So let me ask you this: the brother that's here that lost the father young, okay, that's the woodshop person. He must have been very affected by not having his father, because that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. And so I want you to know his father has watched over him, and his father must have also
Well, he
had
still lives in his father's house
thank
and
you.
is working in his father's wood shop.
Thank you. So
Yes.
he said he had a compensity of what I did, meaning
Absolutely.
that's kind of the deal it is. So you need to tell him that his dad is in the workshop with him, and they're doing all those.
I'm sure he is.
Yes. And of course, Marilyn's son wants to also be involved, but tell him to go back off and do what he wants to do. But these boys, I'm just telling you, they're all around you, Wendy, and they love you to death. I mean, like you were the center of their universe, and you need to know that.
That's important to me.
Yes,
I
yes.
come from a very diffracted family, so
That's, I understand.
I'll take what I can get.
Take what you can get. Now, I have no idea who they're talking about, but I'm seeing a wedding dress. So
Wedding dress.
a wedding dress, would there be somebody connected to your son that would be getting married or that you would know about?
No, but my sister Ava just got engaged.
Oh, duh. And this would have been his aunt?
Yeah,
Of course he knows about this. They must have had some connection if he
Yes.
brings it up. Yes?
yes, they knew each
So-
other. My son knew my sister.
Okay, so please tell her that he's going to be there at the wedding.
That's a hoot.
Okay? Because he like
Yeah.
Marilyn's son likes parties, so that they're all going to be there together, doing that up. And this is
Oh,
a
he was
very,
definitely a partier.
no question. I'm telling you, him and Marilyn's son, they're like they're two bees in a pot. So I mentioned this to you really quick here. Was this a big deal for your sister to be married, getting married?
Yeah, it is a big deal.
I think it's a big deal because I want to say I feel like this is something she's wanted to do for a very long time
Yes,
and has not been able to.
yes.
Okay, and I'm getting a Louis or a Louise or one of those sounding names.
Well, my son was raised by Louise,
Okay, and who would that be to him?
his adopted mother.
Ah, got it. Okay, and is she still here then?
No,
Okay, so he's just, that's how he's identifying. Do you understand?
yeah.
So that's all the part of the diffraction or kind of whatever it is. All right.
That's exactly all part of the diffraction. We
Yes.
were all adopted, me and him.
That makes a lot of sense then. Thank you. But I will tell you something. He doesn't think of you that way. To be honest with you. I mean, you're his mom. That's why I said he came in with this
Yeah.
mega hug for you. Mega hug for you. All right. And I'm going to ask one other quick thing here. Who had some kind of a blood disorder?
What, a blood disorder?
Yeah, there's something with blood.
Well, my brother Mickey had diabetes, and he died a year and a half ago in
And
August.
Okay,
so
so then he's coming with your son.
that would make me very happy.
He's coming with your son. Your son brought him over.
That would thrill me.
Okay, he was really, really sick, Wendy.
Yeah.
Really, really sick. Did he have like swollen legs also?
Yes.
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 He keeps holding them up and he goes, Wendy, because he didn't call you Wendy. I think he called you sis. He called you something else. And
Well,
he says,
Susie was his wife.
okay, that's what it is. He's holding the legs up and he goes,
And he was
"I
in a
want-"
wheelchair when he
That's what-
died, before
says,
he died.
I want you to know I can walk now. I'm doing all those wonderful things that
I
I
love
couldn't do when
that.
I was here. All right. So they're all hanging out, having a great time. And they wish that they could all be together for the holiday, but they'll be there with you in spirit, as they say.
That's wonderful.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Thank you, Suzanne.
You're very welcome, my dear. Okay. I don't know where.
I'm here.
Okay.
So I felt drawn to somebody, but I didn't go too much into it because I wanted to wait until, okay. I gotta find this person again. Okay, yeah, it's, boy, I'm looking for this person. I don't see them. I know I didn't see her name. She was sitting there in a green sweatshirt, kind of a younger girl. She looked younger.
Okay, her name is Sunny and she's raising her hand.
Yeah, that's you. Yes, come up, son.
She lost a brother. Talk to her brother, Thomas.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because
you-
I'm hearing brother. So you talk to her.
Sonny, are you there? Come off mute. She's not off mute.
You gotta unmute, Sunny. I
I
got
am.
her. There she is.
Hi.
Did you lose a brother, Sonny?
I did.
Okay.
I don't. Hi. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
See, all these men
don't know
are
what
just
I
coming to
pressed.
me. All these men are just coming to me tonight.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
We can hear that one too.
Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. So you lost a brother, Sonny?
Yes.
So first off, I need to tell you, when I connect to him, I feel immediately his energy and the way that he comes to me is he was a larger than life type of person. I feel that he was very much a big personality. Do you understand that, Sonny?
Yeah.
Okay. I also feel like there's some confusion that has gone on with his passing. I feel like there's like an unresolved energy with his passing still. I don't know if you understand that, but I feel like
He was
something
killed in a hit and run accident, and they never arrested the person who
because like I was telling you,
killed.
something does not add up here. He's making a lot of not that makes sense to you?
She's freezing.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Mhm. Yeah. So you understand about how this is not you that makes sense to you, right?
Sorry, I didn't hear you because it cut out.
She froze.
Do you understand that there's something that does not make sense here with his passing and there's a lot of confusion with it? And you said that he passed from something that was unresolved. So that does make sense to you, right?
Yeah, he was killed in a hit and run accident,
Got you.
and they never arrested the person.
And I also need to ask you also, I feel when your brother comes through that there's a goofiness. And he's also saying, thank you about the name. Thank you for the naming. I don't know who was named after your brother. Was your son named after your brother?
This one.
So your brother is aware of that. And he's saying, thank you about the name. So he actually knows about that.
This one's will have pink.
Did he know that this was going to be happening? Did he know you were pregnant?
No, I
Mhm.
passed away. Wait, I named him.
What, honey?
Can you hear me?
You keep cutting out and there's screaming children in the background. I'm doing the best I can.
So
I'm up-
sorry. My brother passed away, and then I met my husband after he passed, and then I had my son.
Okay, got you. Do you know why I would be seeing about your son, your brother showing me music? Do you understand that? Was he connected?
My son is into music. My brother, a little, I guess.
Okay, interesting. Okay. And let me ask you also, I feel that you have had a lot of pushback, a lot of issues with the legal aspect of this. You know, you've been very much, you're not getting the answers that you're wanting. It's a lot of like, they say they're going to do stuff, they don't. They get very uncertain about things. They don't really, does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah, we found the person who killed him, but they'd never pressed charges against him.
Do you have your brother's bow tie?
No, not a bow tie, but I have a picture of him from his wedding wearing one that's in my room.
And is that something that you look at, you think of him with that, things like that?
Yeah, I have it in my bedroom, and on his birthday, I take it to the beach every year.
Yeah. Okay, so that must be what he's showing. I want to tell you this because I'm hearing about this. So basically, the sadness here is your brother was this beautiful guy everybody loved. He was, just a great person, and you know who did this, but you don't. And was he on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I'm feeling this. Is there something where, I keep feeling about this? So just take me back to this. So they do basically know who did this, but they're choosing to, for whatever reason, they're choosing to not look into this more or something?
They found him, but there was no witness to him. He stopped, he got out of the car, saw him, and left. So someone saw him there, but nobody saw them actually hit him. So they decided not to press charges on him. But he had his car fixed and paid cash, and it was a whole thing. So they know that's who it is, but they said they'll never press charges.
I see. Okay. So you're having a hard time letting that go?
Yep.
Now, I'm just going to tell you that in the spirit world, there's a different mindset because they have transitioned into a different region, and they're just in a different mindset about things. I do feel at an intuitive level that is not, I don't feel that is anything that in terms of the legal stuff, in terms of, court cases or things like that, I feel like that is totally done. I don't think that there will be anything more with that. Of course, there's other aspects of things, and we don't, the thing is since we're not God, we don't really know how things get worked out, but I do feel like your brother, he understands totally why you are so in a place where it's almost like you can't let this go. You're having such a hard time with this. But I do feel like he's telling me that, he understands also that you have to kind of move on with your life. You can't, I just feel like he is telling me that. I want to know who the A name is because I'm bringing up the letter A, and I don't know who that is. You understand?
I had a best friend named Aaron who passed away, but I don't know if my brother knew him.
Okay, but he would be somebody that's connected to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me ask you also, your brother is talking about a trip coming up. So I don't know if
about a what?
Are you going on a trip soon?
Not really. Go next to the bed, please, honey. Sorry. I went on a trip with my brother's ashes, but that was a long time ago.
Okay, so you did that after. Can I ask you also with your brother, where do you connect to, where's the February connection with your brother, or what is the February connection that your brother's bringing up?
She froze again.
Do you have
My birthday's in February, my brother's birthday's in February.
Okay, cool. Do you actually, I want to just ask you that, you get signs with him through numbers?
I get more so I feel songs and pennies, and maybe that's what song is.
Yeah, maybe that's also why I was hearing about the music thing. I know that your brother's energy, his personality to me feels, I know that he liked to have fun. I know that he was kind of goofy. I know that he brought a lightheartedness to things, and I feel like that's how he really wants to be remembered, is that he.
Can I ask you something specific? Because it's really important to someone else.
Sure.
I have had dreams of him. He actually came to me in my dream and told me that I was having a boy, and I did, and I named him after him. But my sister, it's been very hard for her because she never gets any signs from him. And it's been very hard for her. So I wanted to know if he has any messages for her because she's had such a hard time.
Is she a J name?
She is. She's a Jillian.
Yeah, she gets actually signs all the time. She just doesn't recognize it. I think that she's too stuck. He's telling me that he comes to her kids a lot. He visits with her kids a lot. He does connect with her and actually communicate with her. But the issue is that she's kind of more in her mind where she feels that, Sunny, I'm going to put you on mute while I finish answering this. She feels that it's got to be, see, the thing is with signs, there's no way of controlling how somebody communicates. They send the signs that they choose that they're going to send, and that's kind of up to them. So I feel like with her, it's like she's looking for a specific sign, she's looking for like this type of thing. And he might come to her in other ways. It might be through, I don't see him coming to dreams with her because I don't really get that she's a big dreamer. So he's not going to choose to come to her in dreams. So if she's looking for that, she's not going to get that because I don't see that that's the language that he connects with. It's going to be more through her kids, more through her thoughts, more in that way and stuff. It's not going to be through the way that she's wanting it to. What she has to do is kind of reset things. She's kind of gotten, I don't want to say jaded, but she's gotten to the point where she's just like, fuck it. I don't get any signs, I don't even, I almost feel like you don't even want to necessarily tell her about it because it stresses her out and stuff. She's got to reset and get into a different mindset. And if she does, and she really puts her heart into being open to that, she will get signs from her. I feel that she does, but she just doesn't pick up on it. So, yeah. All right, Sunny, thank you so much. We'll go, Suzanne, you want to do one?
I think I'm getting like some double crosses here. So first of all, I'm hearing a name, there's a Kathy or a Catherine. I'm hearing those names twice. And I think one of them might have lost a husband. And if it wasn't a husband, it was a brother, because it's got to be of that peer level. So one person has their hand up. Kathy has her hand up. Ask her to unmute.
Hi.
Hi. So that's you, right? Okay, don't go away because I want to double check here. There was one other Kathy. And sometimes the dead husbands will come through together just to make my life more colorful. Okay, so. All right, so there's Kathleen. That's not you.
That's me. I'm
That's
Kathleen.
you. Okay. Oh, you're Kathleen, not Kathy?
Both. I'm
Okay.
Kathleen. They call me Kathy.
I got it. All right, so where the hell did she go? Let me get her back here. Oh, yeah. Where the hell did she go? Box 7. All right, so hold on. Wave your hand, Kathy, so I can find you again.
Who, me? Me, Kathy?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, thank you. Okay, wonderful. So, I have to tell you, he comes in very strong, but interesting, quite frankly, he's not a pushy dude. He's
Is it
he's
my
just.
brother?
So, did you lose a brother or a husband?
A brother,
Okay, so your husband's still here?
yes.
Would he have been connected to your husband?
They were good friends.
Okay, so my question to you is, bring that back to me again. Okay. What's he trying to say to me? All right, has he been gone a little while, Kathy?
2019.
Oh, that's a while. Okay. And does that mean your dad's with him also?
He could be,
Is your father passed?
yes.
He said,
A
I'm
long
with
time
dad.
ago.
I'm with
Oh,
dad.
okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
okay.
so dad is the one that's been gone a long time.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And he's with another woman. So does that mean mom's passed too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's coming with all of them.
Oh, okay.
Now, yes. Now, you're not his only sister though, are you?
No, I had two sisters and they also passed. So
Okay, so they're
I'm
all
the-
coming together.
I'm the
Okay,
only one left.
got it. So you got the whole family here. Now,
Oh,
and there's a Mary. Who's the Mary, please?
I have an Aunt Mary.
Is she dead too?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's not leaving anybody out, is he? All right. Okay. Now, so first of all, it's interesting. So you must have been close to them because he's really pushed his way in very, very strong. But there's still something that's mild-mannered about him. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's the way that I'm getting it. And there's a Robert or somewhere like that, he's telling me also.
I don't know.
Robert, Rob, Robin, Subin, he's telling me. All right, you'll think about it. Now,
Okay.
so was he sick, Kathy?
Yes, he had cancer.
Okay. Because he's showing me cancer and he's showing me a lot of his body.
Yes.
And did he go in an altered state toward the end? Was he in a coma or altered state with his consciousness?
I don't know.
Okay, because he's telling me, so you weren't around.
No,
Okay, but you do know that it was a lot of his body.
his whole body. Yes, he
Okay,
was.
and I think it must have went into his brain or something at the end because he's showing me his brain and he's showing me altered consciousness, which means more to that world in this world. Now, I have to understand there's a reason he's telling you all this. And I'm going to gather he must be telling you this because you didn't know.
I knew he was going to die. I knew he had cancer and I knew it was towards the end, but we live in different states. And so I wasn't there when
I
it
got
happened.
it. Okay. So it would be him saying to you that I want you to know what happened at the end. And if you weren't there, it's cool. I understand. You understand this?
Mhm.
Your father had already crossed because he said dad was there to bring me over and mom must have been there too. He said they were both there to bring him over.
Okay.
Yes. So now, is he honored for your father? Is his name from your dad or from your dad for his dad? Okay,
There-
'cause-
his, they had the same name. Yes.
right. There's telling me that was kind of like passed down.
Uh-huh.
Now, he's also telling me this. It looks like either where you lived or where you grew up, there must have been a lot of apple trees because I'm feeling like there was apple trees around somebody. So somebody must have had them around, either you or your grandparents or whatever it is, because he's talking to me about growing up with apples. And somebody like used to make apple pie.
I think it was my grandma.
Was that be your mom's mom? Do you know?
I think so.
Okay, so did they live like rurally, like in rural
On a
areas?
farm. On a
On a
farm.
farm, thank you,
Yeah.
yes, because so it's interesting how your brother remembers that, so they must have went there or something, because he has all those memories of that.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes,
That's-
yes, yes. Now, he met your husband, he tells me,
He met my husband?
yes. Was you,
My
did you get married after your brother passed?
No, we actually met in grade school. We all went to grade school.
So he
together.
knew your husband?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want to know, who's the dude that's coming with your brother that was in the uniform?
my dad was in the Navy.
Okay, so he's coming wearing his uniform.
Okay.
And he says you have pictures of him in his uniform.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Now-
was just looking at him recently.
Yeah,
Like-
well, that's common before these things. It's like they lead you to it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so who are the mega card players, Kathy?
I don't know.
It must have been on your father's side because your father's talking, well, he's been gone a long time. You might not know that.
Right. He died when I was 10. So,
So you
16.
wouldn't know that. Yes, because he's talking about, so you knew mom's family more than dad's. Is that the deal?
Yes.
Yes, okay,
I did.
because he's telling me he said, my side of the family were really cool people. He said, we were a lot of fun. We played games, we played cards, we drank, we had a good time. I just went.
That's my dad's side, he's saying?
I think it's somebody's side, unless it's your mom's, but somebody liked to play cards and drink and have a good time.
Okay, I don't know.
I wonder if that's my dad.
Are you near her?
No, but you read my dad before.
Oh, whose dad am I talking about now? Oh, Lori?
Dory, yeah.
Oh, Dory. Oh, Dory, you're right next to her. So
Yeah.
your father's not done. What is with these guys? They don't want to leave. These men don't want to leave. I've always known men like me, but this is ridiculous. I mean, you're
And
literally
I also had an apple tree in my backyard. I don't know if that
so
has
you're
anything to
right
do-
next to each other. So
Okay.
your father's a hog trying to push Kathy's brother out. Jesus. I think I'm glad Marilyn's on the other side because then her son would be coming back in again. So that's the way they're coming together. Okay, so I guess your father wasn't done talking. I guess he said, I wanted to give you some fun stuff after all the lectures. So
I wonder if he meant my fiance also. I've always been curious if he likes my fiance. Sorry,
And that's-
Kathy.
that's
Didn't mean to
probably-
jump in.
Well, the thing is, Kathy, her brother knew, they grew up in grade school. So
Okay.
that would make sense why your
Okay.
father, that would be a big deal to your father. Do you understand this? Okay, so now that I got you both here together, there's a male with a D name they keep giving me. There's a David, there's a Donnie, there's a Danny, there's a male with a D name they're giving me. That's got to be connected to one of you guys.
A D.
Yes, it's a D. And I don't know if he's here or crossed over, but it's Davy, Donald, David, very strong. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to, shit, oh, where'd everybody go?
I'm here.
No, everybody went away. Oh, let me get back on the screen here. Oh, how do I get back into the screen? Oh, wait a minute. Oh boy, I got locked out. Is everybody there?
No, you're there, Suzanne. We see you.
Well, I don't see you guys.
I can see you.
I can see you.
Okay,
gotta see-
if you do speaker view, when anybody talks, you're gonna see them.
Okay, wait a minute, but I'm not even in this Sugar Jets.
Do you see up at the very top on the right, it says view of your screen?
I don't even see Zoom. Okay, hold on. I don't see.
Did you
My
minimize
dad
it?
is Dale and he's deceased.
Hold on, please. Let her.
Hold on. There you are. There you are. Okay, who's Dale? Where am I?
My dad
Are you
is Dale and he's deceased.
okay? And are you next to him? Who are you?
My name's Donna and he passed
Okay.
about 10 years ago.
Okay, so you're all in the same boxes here. I told you I got this box thing goes on, and they come in droves. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you one thing quick. Did your father play pinochle, Donna?
Yes, he did.
Okay, this is a pinochle player, literally. And your father must like Lori's father, must like Kathy's father. And so they're all, and was he also in the service, Donna?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he's in one of the green ones, correct? I mean, the Marine or Army or one of those?
He was in the Navy.
Navy. So you and Kathy's father are in cahoots together.
My dad was in the Navy also.
Yes, that's why I'm saying the boxes are all coming. You see how this is happening, one big happy family, and that's just kind of the way it is. So, but your father was a hell of a pinochle player, Donald. I don't mind telling you.
Yes, he played cards every Friday night with family.
And I'm sure he's gonna be, I'm sure he's gonna bother me. He's gonna go be playing pinochle with my mother. That I can tell you, because that was a major, and that, it's not an easy game, by the way. It's like the underline of bridge for anybody that needs to know that FYI. Not that you need that information, but that's kind of where we are. Okay, I gotta have.
He would play with my mom too. We'd all go
So
to my
they're-
aunt's house, and I was named
they're all-
after my aunt.
So then that's where they're all coming here together. Okay, so I want to ask one other quick question here among the three of you that I have on here. Somebody is connected. Oh boy, wait a minute. Okay, so let me ask you this, Kathy, real quick here. You got two sisters crossed?
Yes,
Did any of them cross young?
yes, my older sister was in her 30s.
Okay, I'm getting a younger female, either younger than that. Is that with you, Donna, or with you, Dory? There's a younger female who's also coming through.
Not me, no.
Okay, all right, so I gotta ask, please, this, and I know that this is not connected to Sunny. So I'm seeing some kind of an accident on a bike. Somebody was connected, and it must be one of your boxes here. You must be connected to somebody who crossed on a bike, or a bike accident, or connected to a bike accident.
That was also the brother that just came through, died on the bike too, remember?
That was Sunny's, but I feel like this is connected to one of these three, unless there's somebody else in this row, separate from Sunny, that had a bike accident, and it's also connected to a younger female. Okay. I don't know.
Bicycle
Somebody
or
said-
motorcycle?
It's one or the other. I'm hearing a bike.
I have somebody I lost in a motorcycle accident.
This Allison?
Yeah,
And you're right next to Donna.
yeah.
Okay, so you're all in a box, three of them, you can't tell, but you're all three together. Okay, so who is this, Allison?
Jamie, he was a very, very dear friend.
Okay, I would get him like a brother.
Yeah,
Okay, and did he die instantly?
yeah.
Okay, because you see, I'm getting a sixth sister connection. So he might have thought of you that way, because that's the way it comes.
Okay.
And that's why I was asking Kathy about her sister, because it comes on that, I see things on levels, peer levels. So sisters, best friends, or all that with us, but I think he passed instantly.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Now, one other last thing, Allison, would you have known his mom?
Yes.
Okay, she's not still here, is she?
I don't know. I lost touch with her. He died a long time ago.
Okay, remember I said this was a long time ago? That's why I thought it might be connected to Kathy's father was gone a long time ago. So,
yeah.
yes, I think they're together now, and he wants you to know that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he says you think about him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna say one last thing, Allison. This man knew he was gonna live a short life.
Really?
Yes, because I think he was a little bit of a hell raiser, lived a little on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Really young.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
He was
Okay, so I got one. That's on the edge, and that's young. That's why I said to Kathy, this person's much younger.
Yeah.
Yes, because I knew this had to be like in their teens from where I am. Okay, I got one more other place here to go, and I'm not done here. Just real quick, and I started with you. I'm not going to finish with you. Dory, there's a male vibration that's connected, that's crossed over, that's connected to your fiance. He either lost a best friend or a close friend or somebody like a brother a while ago.
He lost his father recently.
This is not an older
No, it's
man. This
not.
is a younger person. So there's somebody that's connected to him. And I hear a K name, like a Kevin, like a Keith, like a some sound like that. Kevin, Keith, Ken, something. So it's connected to them, and I want you to ask him, and I want you to email me tomorrow, because I'm telling you, it was a while ago. It was before
Okay.
you were in his, before you were in his life.
Okay.
I know he was very affected by it. And this
Okay,
guy
let
has
me
been
find out.
tracking him down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna, there's four of you. I'm gonna let Thomas talk for a minute. Okay, guys, that was great.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
I always tell people when we do this, it's one big happy family, and that's why if I told you if you're in boxes near each other, I often get these overlays, and so there we go. So I don't know where you are, Thomas.
I'm here. I want to know who lost the son that was the piano player. I want to know who lost the son that was the piano player. There's somebody that is coming through that was their son played the piano. Seeing the I'm definitely seeing piano. Somebody lose their son, and he
Sienna.
Sienna, okay,
Sienna, yeah.
all right. Did you lose your son, Sienna?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not actually seeing you. I don't know why.
She's right next to Karen, she's right next to Sandy, and she's right next to Heidi, and she's right next to Elena. And
I
she's
don't
right
see
next.
her either, Thomas.
Huh?
I don't see her either.
Sienna, can you?
Okay, I'm telling you, the top of the line is Sandy, Heidi, RJ.
Suzanne,
Christina.
we look at it in a different view.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Can you
I
say,
can't help you then.
can you say something, because it goes by the voice, so if you say something, it'll pull you back up to me. Can you say hi?
Hi, everyone. My name is Shauna.
Yeah, there, you're there.
There she is.
There you go. Okay, and your son played the piano, right?
He did.
Okay. I see him, first off, I just have to tell you this. He's a very powerful soul.
Oh.
He was, he said he packed a lot into a short amount of time in life. He packed a lot, he packed a lot of life into a short amount of time. He was extremely sensitive, and you and him had a very, very strong bond. Do you understand all this?
All of it.
It's like, I know there were other people in the family, but you guys were so, I feel that you guys were so connected. I don't know, did you adopt him?
No, I didn't.
Because I don't know. So why do I want to say about, like, where are their half siblings? Or I don't know why I feel like, are there other siblings or something that are like half siblings?
There are. And I also co-parented him with his father. So I only had him like half of the time. So I had him half of the time, but he also has a half sibling, my other daughter.
Okay. And I also want to tell you too, he's telling me this year he wants you to go see the Christmas lights. I don't know why he's telling me that, but he's talking about that. Was that a big thing in your, did you guys do that a lot?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Also, I don't know if it's one person, I don't know if it's two people, I don't know if it's 500 people, but he's talking about that you are, there's something about your experience with him where you're going to be helping other mothers who lost their children. But I don't know in what capacity. It could be one person in your life. It could be something I don't know, but he's talking about that. Does that make sense to you at all?
Yes, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also telling me too, this is his message that he's saying. He says something about that you need to allow yourself to grieve. I feel that you have, but I also feel that there's so many things that you do for a lot of other people. And sometimes it's almost like you don't give yourself enough time to kind of just kind of be in the energy of the fact that you miss him, you lost him, things like that. He says he knows that you have his sweatshirt. Do you have his sweatshirt?
Yes.
He's talking about that. Also, he says that when you think about how he passed, it's very violent, it's very graphic. There's a lot of imagery that comes with it. that you think about, oh my God, my son being in this, you know? I don't know if this is, I don't really get if this is a bomb or something, but I'm seeing huge flames. I don't know, was there a bomb?
No, there wasn't a bomb, but his car, when he was in a car crash
Okay.
and a tractor trailer slammed into him and
Okay.
his car burst into flames.
Okay, then that's what I'm getting, because it's like, I feel there's like a boom, you know, and he's showing me this. So I think when you think of that, now this is something that I have been told before. A lot of times, the spirit of somebody, the soul of somebody exits their body before that actual, so it's really just their physical body, but it's not them. Okay. So when there's and it happens other times. I've even had people many times where people will say, you know, their father, you know, was dying of cancer, let's say, and their body was deteriorating. And the spirit, the loved one will come through and say, oh, I passed on, you know, I left my body 3 days before my body died. A lot of times the physical body, it's the last thing to go. The spirit usually goes ahead. So I feel when this thing was exploding and burning in these fires that I'm seeing, which it's like this crazy image that I'm seeing, your son has given me the feeling his soul was not experiencing that, because he had actually already transitioned, because there was no way he was coming back from that. So his soul left. Your son, I want to tell you this, and am I saying your first name correctly? What is it?
Shauna.
It's Shauna?
Yeah.
Shauna, I also want to tell you too, your son was a very old soul. I know that he was a young teenager when he passed. Was he a young teenager?
Yes, he was 17.
But he didn't really think like a 17-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel, of course, part of him did, because like, you know, it would. But I just get the feeling that he's telling me that he was almost beyond his years a little bit. Does that make sense to you?
100%.
And also he tells me, Mom, I'm not mad at the person who killed me, because he says that would just be holding him back on the other side. Now you do whatever you want to do, because it's your, you know, that's up to you. But he's telling me where he's at. He is not, because honestly, there wasn't really a lot of justice with this situation, you know, and I think we think that, you know, we think, you know, somebody kills somebody, well, then that should, you know, it's like, but we know, well, that's not really the way the world works, you know, it's not like that, you know, and we know that. There's people on this call that have had that same experience, where there's not always like, oh, well, this happened to you, so now this, you know, it doesn't always work that way. We don't know the matrix of reasons of all the different things of why somebody passed, why they leave when they leave. We just know that spiritually, nobody leaves metaphysically. Like, if they leave, it was because it was their time, as hard as that is for your brain to wrap it around. You know, if they leave, it's because they had an exit point there. They had something to do on the other side. You know, it's something, you know, we don't know. But I just want to tell you, it's just not where his focus is. He's not focused on, you know, he's focused on being in the spirit world, guiding you, he says that he sits on your bed a lot at night. Do you ever feel him sitting on your bed?
Well, I don't know if he's sitting on my bed, but I definitely feel him. I definitely feel like a really strong tingly presence when I'm in bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is a spirit that you would feel, because I think he likes to make himself known. I think he likes to, you know, I just feel like I get that feeling. I get that feeling that he likes to make himself known. He likes to, you know, connect with you. Also, I want to tell you too, I know with him, because he keeps showing me this, that the hair was a big deal. He must have been very into his hair, styling his hair, cutting his hair. Do you understand this?
Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah.
I can't even believe this.
Yeah. So
Yes.
he is
He
bringing.
had this huge afro.
Okay.
Everybody loved his hair. Everyone loved his hair.
Yeah. Also, I get a feeling of him. I mean, since he was younger, I think there's certain things that he maybe hadn't fully stepped into yet, but he was extremely creative. I get a feeling of him being very, very creative, and he had a very creative mindset. I feel that he was very, very creative. And also, I don't know if it's a pencil drawing or a lithograph of him, but it looks like a drawing of him. Do you understand this?
Yes, I can show it to you. It's right here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's right here.
Yeah, he's showing me that. That's exactly what he showed me. Yep, that's exactly what. And I think that is just his way of letting you know that he's with you all the time. He says that he's with you all the time. It's hard for you because he's telling me, and he's bringing this up, but and which I know is common with kids, but he's telling me that when he passed, he was really coming into his own. You know what I'm saying? He was really starting to, it was almost like for overnight, he went from a kind of awkward, nerdy to all of a sudden you were like, oh my God, I have a grown ass man in my house. And he's telling me like, it was like this happened. It was like one day it was like, oh my God, he's like a grown up, you know? He's telling me about how there was so much that you were looking forward to. And he says, Mom, he says, all the dogs are over here too. He says, he actually goes, I just got a couple dogs when I got over here too. I went and bought a couple dogs here. So he's got dogs over there that you wouldn't even know because he got them when he went over there. But he's got about 4 or 5 dogs with him. He loved dogs. Did you know that? I'm sure you did.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got about 4 or 5 dogs over there that he likes to play with and be with and stuff like that. But I do feel that he is around you a lot. And he is just, he was a very, very unique, just very, just kind of marched to the beat of his own drum. But he also is telling me too, he says that you gave him a beautiful life and he wants you to know that. He says, never feel that you didn't, and also I know you don't get there a lot, but do you ever spend time at the beach?
I do. Oh my God. Yes.
He's being goofy now. He says that he goes, Mom, they have an Apple store over here.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Apple was everything he did was about Apple products, everything.
Yeah, he's like, he had to have everything. He had to have everything. And he's laughing because he goes, I was spoiled. Mom gave me everything. Anything I wanted, I got to have it. So I think he was able to have the things that he liked and stuff. But yeah, it's interesting because now, do you have other kids or no, you don't?
I have a daughter. I do. I have my daughter, Cassie.
Okay.
And she's living.
Is that his sister?
Half sister, yes. Yeah, his sister.
Okay, his half sister, but you're her mother.
Yes, different fathers.
Different father, but you're her mother. How old is she?
She is 32.
Okay.
They're 6 years apart.
Okay. So this is interesting. He's trying to help her over there. He says that I don't know what she's doing, but she's going in a lot of different directions or something. I don't really get what's going on, but she's a little bit, I don't know. She seems confused to me or something.
Yeah. She might be.
Yeah, her energy is a little scattered. And I'm not going to say that it's not that I don't feel that you were close to her, because I know you are close to her, but you had such a profound bond with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And I feel like it's like you are close to her, but I don't know, it's almost like with you and him, like how old was he when he passed?
17.
But for a 17-year-old boy, I feel like he really liked spending time with you. You guys, he actually really enjoyed doing stuff with you and stuff. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. He was a mama's boy. I know he's close to his dad too, but he loved to be with you. And he's telling me you guys would do all sorts of fun stuff, and it's just a different connection. It's not like one is bad with your daughter or one is good. They're totally different energies to me. And I just feel like, he just loved being with you, and he's telling me that, and it's been a void in your, and he says that he knows you try to stay busy. You try not to dwell on it too much, because if you do, it's like you go down a rabbit's hole. So you kind of just, it's not that you don't think about it, but you a little bit are like, okay, I just can't go there totally. It's very traumatizing. It feels like you had PTSD dealing with this. And then he's showing me after he passed, was there like a lot of drama after he passed? Because I feel like you couldn't even get closure right away, because I feel like you were dealing with all this other bullshit related to him passing. So I don't know, did you have to go, was there court or something? There must have been like a court case.
Yes, all of that.
Just see you, it's like you lost your son. And then if that's not enough, now you got to go through all this bullshit, it's like you didn't really even want to be dealing with that, but you had to be dragged into that in a way. So it's just this kind of ongoing thing. So, but I know when I connect to him that he is just, he says it's beautiful where he is. And he says that someday, he's not ready for you yet, but he says someday you guys will see each other again. You guys will be together again. And you'll continue that. He says, don't worry, I'll find you. You're going to see me again. You will see me again. We're not done yet. But he's laughing too. He says, Mom, my whole room's all picked up. He's got his room's all organized. He said, you'd like to know that.
That's so funny. Yay.
Very cute. He's a cute guy. He's a really nice kid. And I know he just absolutely loves you. So it was, but because I see you. I mean, this is what I want to tell you, but the memory that comes up in my mind is driving through kind of like a relatively wealthy area where there would be Christmas lights up. And I just keep seeing that over in my head. And does that make sense to you?
Yes, 100%. We did that every year.
Okay.
We lived in Western Massachusetts, so we would go into Long Meadow, and they always had, it's a beautiful area in Western Massachusetts, and we always had, the holiday lights. And the last 3 years that we did it, we would go for a run and pretend to get locked in. So they would close the gates and whatever, but since we didn't have a car, we could get out. But yes, every year we did that.
Okay.
Every year.
Why he's bringing that. It's a special memory and stuff. So good. Well, you keep on keeping on. I know you're a strong lady, and you're gonna be okay. I'm glad I could connect with you a bit tonight.
Thank you so much. You changed my life. I thank you so, so, so much.
You're welcome, hon. Suzanne, you want to do one?
Yeah, I'm hearing like a double thing again. Okay, so I have a real question here. First of all, I'm hearing, I don't know if it's a Peggy or Margaret.
There is on here, I believe.
And did this person lose a husband? I don't even know where I am.
There is a Peggy on here. Did she lose a husband? I'm not sure.
Where am I?
Yes, she did. She says she did.
Where is she?
We can bring her up. Peggy, unmute.
Oh, okay. There you are. Okay,
It's
so
right here.
there you are. Okay, so before I go anywhere else, because I just kept hearing Peggy husband or Margaret husband or something, because sometimes Margaret's or Peggy's and vice versa. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm actually a Margaret, but I go by
Okay.
Peggy.
Okay, so he must have called you Peggy then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
he's also very cute. Now,
Yeah, just say one thing, Suzanne. I'm sorry to bother you.
yes.
There is actually two Peggies, and I don't know if this other lady lost her husband, but this lady did, but I don't know if this other Peggy did.
Okay, did the other Peggy lose her husband? There's a
Other-
there's a Peggy right next to you. Literally, I mean, I'm getting everybody right next to each other. So,
I don't, she's
so
not saying anything. I
this one
think
didn't raise her hand, but I gotta ask you this,
it's
because
not
if it,
exactly.
okay, so that if it's not you, there's a Peggy next to you, there's a Carol next to you. But your husband he's also very cute, by the way. He's quite adorable, to be honest with you. You must have been married forever, because he goes, oh yeah, that's my girl. We've been married forever. Now,
41 years.
that's forever. But I don't think this is you. But it's interesting because he came in, he said, my wife, Peggy, Margaret, whatever it is. But I because he's bringing this in, but there's something else here. You would be connected to horses, would you?
No.
Okay, there's somebody, and I want them to raise their hand. I got 2 dead horses behind me. So somebody lost 2 dead horses. And your husband's funny. He goes, I don't know what the hell they're doing here. But I got these 2, he's here with these 2 dead horses. Is anybody raised a hand? Okay, so I'm just gonna sit here. Okay, so he's coming through. He's telling me that has he not been gone super long, Peggy?
Not long, a year and a half.
Yeah, he said, I think he's a little bit of wise ass, because he said, like, yeah, a little bit, not too much longer. So
Yeah.
he's definitely cracking jokes from what he's telling me. But the most important, there's a few things I want to say, but the most important things that I want to tell you is that beside this man loved you to death, you couldn't have done enough for him. And he really thanks you, because he knows you'd have to leave the room and cry. He knows that you kept the stiff upper lip. He knows that you didn't want him to see you in this state, because this was a very strong, dignified man. And the
Yes.
last thing he wanted in his life was to lose his dignity.
Yes.
And the last thing he wanted was the people that loved him to see him lose his dignity.
That's correct.
Yes. Now, I got to ask you a strange question. Did you bury him?
Yes.
Did you bury him in a suit?
No.
Good. Because he was going to yell at you if you did. He says, do
No.
not bury me in a suit, because I never wore one, never liked them. And I think people that bury men in suits and never wear them are stupid.
He was a Packers fan. We buried him in his Packers.
Okay,
t-shirt.
so that's the suit you buried him with, but not the other. Great.
Right.
Because that was like a very big deal, because he said, if you would have ever done that, I would have never come and talked to you.
Well, his mother was mad that we didn't put him in a suit.
So
She said she never seen anybody buried in a,
So there you go.
T-shirt.
I know it had to be an issue, because he keeps telling me that you knew the deal, and you did his wishes, because there's no way in hell, not that he's in the body anyway, but there's no way in hell I'm going to live here with him.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't do that to him.
So that
He
was
never
kind of
wore,
a-
he never liked to get dressed up for anything.
That's
so
what
I
he said.
wasn't-
Why would you bury me in a suit and never wore one? So,
Right.
so you knew him better. You don't have a son by chance, do you, my dear?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I assume it's yours together?
Yes.
Okay, so again, this guy's pretty direct. And is he taking care of mom?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay, do I have to come and kick his ass?
Probably.
Okay. He's pretty good at that, He says he knows better.
Yes, he does.
And he says you need to remind him. And you need to remind him, and if he has to watch this video, watches this video, you need to remind him soon, because the holidays are here.
Yeah.
And there's something we don't know about what is and was not happening with the holidays. And he's not liking this, that this has not been, decided yet. And like, this should be made to decide. We've got to make some kind of a decision here. Do you
Yeah.
understand this?
I think so, yeah. We
Okay.
didn't really celebrate much last year, our first holidays without him.
I got it.
So-
Because, yeah, but that's last year. We're in another year now, another time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's 2 things I want to sort of say. One is that Thomas is absolutely right. There are no accidents, even when there's accidents. And so that's really, really true of Sienna's son. And the other thing is this, is that what happens is that the first year of people's crossing, the people are there and the families are there and everybody's around you. And then as things go by, people are no longer there.
Right.
What they don't understand is that you need them more in the second year, in the third year, the fourth year than you do in the first year. But people don't know that unless they've actually been through it.
Right. Right.
So the reason why he's doing this pointing here is he says, you tell my son that you better get his ass in gear.
I'm gonna tell him.
Okay.
For
He says-
sure.
and he said, he'll know what I'm talking about. He said, I have a big boot and I know how to use it.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
I got a big boot and I know how to use it.
Yeah.
Now, so he's coming with your dad and his dad?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And I'm gathering they must have all knew each other.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Okay.
My dad passed away many, many years ago. His dad literally just passed away a couple months in September.
So then they're coming together. So was he into the games like your hubby?
His dad, no, not really. My dad wasn't. I mean, they'd watch it, but I don't think he was really into it.
Okay. So
you
then I
know.
have to ask you this, please. He must have had somebody like a brother who was very, very close to him. There's a Fran or there's a Frank, one of those names, that was connected to him, who was also into the Packers like him. And he passed before him. And I think he left a wife here and you would know him. And I'm hearing a Frank and I'm hearing a Larry or a Lloyd. There's two sounding names that I'm hearing. And they must be connected to this person that crossed over before him.
I have a brother-in-law named Frank. He passed away. It was yeah.
Okay.
So he passed away before my husband.
Okay, is that your sister's husband then?
Yes. Yes.
So then they're all coming together.
Oh,
So
okay.
They you guys must used to hang out together, like.
Well, we kind of did there were a lot of us. I come from a big family. There were a lot of
Okay.
us in the house together. Yeah.
Got it,
When we were younger. Yeah. One time. Yeah.
So the watching the games or something must have been a big deal because he's always telling me there was always a crowd.
Yeah,
And everybody doing all of that.
Yes.
Yes. And it's interesting. You know what a Stein mug is, right?
Yes.
Okay, do you have one? Does he have one? Did you have one connected to him that was like his big deal?
Yeah. I gave him one for Christmas a long time ago when we were dating, and my kids found it in the basement not long ago. And they brought it up and they're like, we can't get rid of this. This was Dad's.
He's gonna say, what the hell was it doing in the basement? You know?
Yeah. That's funny. Oh my God. Yeah.
Now, did this happen not too long ago?
That they found the mug?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 4 weeks ago, 6
Okay,
weeks ago.
so
Real
this is,
recent.
so this is an FYI because we had one of these earlier tonight, okay? It's very common for this to happen right before you connecting with somebody who's crossed over. It's their way of letting you know that they were going to be here tonight. We had a couple of those. Thomas had a couple
Oh,
of those.
wow.
And that's
Okay.
very common. It's almost like, yeah, I came to visit you. It's like, I think Shauna said her son came or whatever, not too long.
Yeah.
It's very common. They will come and visit you before we have a connection like this to let you know they're going to be there. And they always do way out stuff. So to find his Stein cup that you gave him 40 years ago in the cellar is pretty damn cool.
Yes, yes. Yeah, every now and then I find stuff of his. I kind of have been took over his role of using his tools and doing all this stuff around the house. And
okay, so two things. Who has his tools?
I do.
Okay. No, nobody wants them?
I don't want to get rid of them. I'm using them. I'm actually doing everything. I mean, I YouTube stuff and I fixing
Perfect.
everything.
Woman after my own heart. Okay. Whose watch? Who has his watch?
Oh, I do. I just found it not long ago. I looked all over for it.
So there you go. So we got the Stein, we got the watch, we got everything.
Yes. That's funny. Yes, yes. I couldn't find his watch after he passed away. I was kind of upset. He had a lot of watches, but one particular watch that he wore all the time, I couldn't find it. Looked all over for it. And I don't know, my kids found it somewhere.
Yeah. And somebody passed down a pocket watch, he's telling me. I don't know who that was, but there was somebody in the family that passed down a pocket watch.
Yes, yes. My father passed down a pocket. My sister has it. Yes.
Okay. So you could tell your sister that Dad stopped by and gave hi about the
Yes,
pocket watch.
yes. Thank
so
you
that-
so much. That makes me feel so good to know that he's here because I do feel him here. I talk to him all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yes.
just
yes.
not the same, obviously
Yes.
not the same.
It never is. And one other last thing here.
Yes.
Who was either a big sewer or a big quilter or a big Afghan maker? Somebody did that because they're showing me that they made them and they should have been passed down.
Oh, my mom sewed a lot. My mom was
Okay.
a big sewer. She made all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And so do you have any of that stuff?
I'm sure I do.
Yeah. She loved your hubby.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He
Yeah,
was very well liked.
everybody loved him. Everybody
Yeah.
loved him. Okay,
Yeah.
and one other thing here, separate from his Packers, was he in some kind of a club, Peggy?
No. Mm-mm.
No? Okay, so I want to know there's another man that's coming with him that was in
Mhm.
some kind of club. I don't know if that might have been a dad or an uncle, but I feel like I'm in some kind of a club. Like, I don't know, like, like a VFW club or a Legion club, or somebody was in some kind of a golf club. Somebody was in some kind of club.
Well, his father wasn't really in a club, but he used to meet up. He was a policeman, retired policeman. So he used to meet up with his friends, the whole
Friends.
group of friends at
Friends,
the
okay.
restaurant every
Yes,
morning.
it was like a meeting with some kind of a group
Yes.
of people. And the reason I'm glad, it's interesting you mentioned, because I saw uniforms. That's why I
Yes.
mentioned the VFW in American Legion, because I saw the uniforms. So I thought that might be military, but that is close. as
Yeah, he was a
cops as it-
policeman.
Got it.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
there was a connection with him and his father, although they were very different. They butted
Yes.
heads. They butted heads.
Yes.
But they did have a respect for whatever that was. He said his father was a really hard worker, and he learned that from him.
Yes. Yes.
And so he was
They
very
did butt heads, though. They
They
did butt
did
heads.
butt heads because they're both very strong, man. Like, they're really strong. I don't know if they were German or Irish, whatever they were, but they were strong.
Italian.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll leave you with that, my dear. But he was nudging me on the folder. Did I get any? I'm telling you, I got somebody's horses.
Yeah, I don't know whose horses.
Is that
Now, my
Karen?
granddaughter does like horses.
Okay.
He was very close to my granddaughter. She
So-
loves horses, but we don't have a horse. We're not really connected to,
Okay, so Carrie, are you the one with the horse? Is it Carrie that has the horses?
No.
Yes?
Kelly?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh.
there's two dead horses behind me. Two dead.
I know one dead horse that died
Okay.
after she passed away.
Okay, who was she connected to? Who was the
Who
dead
is she?
horse connected to?
My daughter.
Your daughter, because it's connected to a younger female. And your daughter's still here,
No.
living? So your daughter's here with her horse. And I gotta tell you,
Probably.
she was the younger woman that came through earlier. I kept
Oh.
saying there's a younger female here. And then the dude with the motorcycle kicked her out of the way, and she's now back with her horse.
Yeah. And probably another horse has died since she's been gone. But I know
Yes.
one died within like 2 weeks. He just had a heart attack
Yeah,
and died
I'm
right in the
I'm
thing.
so glad we record these things, because I kept saying, there's a younger female here. And what happened is that when the kid kicked her out of the way, the horses showed up. And then Peggy's husband showed up, and I thought, like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, she did rodeo.
Yeah, that's her. That was her.
Yeah.
And she said, you would know me by the horses, Mom.
Exactly.
You'd know me by the horses.
I just share something with you really quick. I almost didn't get into this group tonight because I was very last minute, but then they did let me in. I don't know why I felt like I really needed to get in here tonight. So I feel like my husband, kind of made it work for me, and that's why he came through, because I was like an hour late and I almost didn't make it. But I just felt compelled that I had to get in here tonight.
Well, you did it. And so I'm so happy we reunited her with her daughter and her horses. Because it was the weirdest thing. I kept saying, like, yeah, but it was the motorbike. I said, but who's this younger female? No one could claim her. But I'm smelling these horses and I'm saying, like, what? And it was weird because it came in with your husband, and I thought, like, but it didn't make sense because I didn't get to horses with you. And that's why I kept saying,
Right.
and then she would not leave me alone. So I'm so glad that her mom finally got to connect with her and her horses. So I want wherever her mom is, I lost her. I want you to know she's telling me that she's riding with the wind.
Aw.
That's what I would think.
She's riding with the wind, dear. Yes.
Actually, I just posted something like that a few months ago that, yeah.
Okay. So now you know. Beautiful, beautiful young lady, I must tell you. You have a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a stunner. She's a stunner. Yeah. I got to ask one last thing here. Is there Elizabeth or a Betty connected to you?
To me,
Yeah.
Elizabeth, Betty.
Yeah. Would your daughter have
I don't-
done some? Go ahead.
I don't, not that I can think of right at the second.
Okay.
Elizabeth.
I'm hearing that when I'm with her. So just keep that in mind. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Did she ride in competition?
Yeah.
Because she's showing me medals.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are, but I'm just talking to whoever.
Oh, well,
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, there
she
you
did.
are. There you
Yeah.
are. You're next to Peggy. That's why the horses came in. That makes a whole lot of, these boxes, they make me crazy, but it does connect the people. I kept saying, like, sometimes when you're in an audience, you see a group together, and that's how I make the connections. But I will tell you, Peggy has a very generous husband and was very happy to bring your daughter in with the horses.
Well, that's
how
very nice because it's been a long time and it's the first time she's ever came through.
Okay. Well, anybody that's connected to horses, trust me, will come through with me because I'm a major horse person,
And dead horses too.
Yes, and dead horses. Yes.
Sorry.
So, no, this
That
is,
would be,
yeah. We call DH, DDs, dead dog, dead horses, dead cats.
that's crazy.
Okay, so where are you, Mr. Thomas? I can't find you.
So Thomas had to sign off
Oh, he
because
did.
the
Okay.
time is up.
Okay.
But somebody did say that it said y'all were taking Q&A. Was that in there, Suzanne?
That must have been in Thomas's thing, not sort of mine. But he's already gone. I will take like one question, maybe two, but I got to run too. But who had a question? Was there a hand raised?
Alex.
I have a question. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
It did say on the thing when you were joining that at the end they would do a Q&A. I'm just wondering, can our loved ones reincarnate back to us? Like, even like say if we lose a child, can they come back as another child, or is any of that possible?
It's a good question. That is possible. Sometimes we come back within the same families. I have known families where there'll be a daughter that comes into the sister because the other sister couldn't have children. And the daughter that comes in, she'll be very connected to the aunt, almost like she knew that was going to be her mother. So that is very common. We do incarnate sometimes within family, particularly with children, and particularly children that have crossed over young.
Yeah. But does the mother generally have, like, if they lose a baby, does that baby come back, or you don't know? It can happen?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes they'll come back to her. Sometimes they'll come back to another family member. Sometimes not. Sometimes they've had a soul connection. You can't really tell, and you can't really tell that usually with babies because there's no identifiable stuff in relationship to who they basically are.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because there's only certain ways you can identify babies, maybe with their name, how they cross, that kind of stuff. Like you can't do like other personalities. You know what I'm saying? You could do birth date, name, maybe other people that are connected to them. It's more, unidentifiable information. But that's not uncommon, but it's all individual because remember we choose our parents, so that's kind of how that works.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I got one more. We have another one more.
One more question. Do you know if someone has crossed? How do you know if someone has crossed over?
You mean this person's wondering if somebody's crossed over or not?
They just said, how do you know if someone has crossed over?
So there you are. Okay, so that's a very, very good question. I personally would be really reluctant in telling somebody if they didn't know somebody crossed over, because the whole process is identifiable information. And I've seen mediums tell people that they were crossed over and they were not crossed over. So I'm really reluctant unless somebody really, really knows. But I will tell you this, and this is not across the board, and I want you to listen to this really, really, really clearly, because I don't want you to think that everybody who dies this way, this is the deal. but I have dealt with people that have drug addictions that are still alive, but they can't because their brains are all screwed up. You might think that they're not here, but they're still here. So it's almost like they're in an altered state of consciousness. So you may not always know if they are actually here or they're crossed over. Does that make sense to you all? Yes, can I get some head shakes? Okay, because it's really important to know that. So I'm very anal. I've been doing this for a really long time. I'm very anal about specific information. That's why validation is very important. And that was kind of to answer the person's question about, you know, the babies and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right, kids.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm gonna tell them a couple of things because
Yeah, Tracy's good. She's like she can give you a whole lot of information.
you need to go. Thank you, sweetheart. I
Be
want to
well, take care. Thank you guys for joining. And
Thank you.
always, when you go back and listen to these messages, you'll get messages for yourself too. Trust me, that's one of the wonderful things about recording these things, because especially if you know you were next to that person or what, because there's always a spill in of information, because you know what, it's all about love. So have a nice Thanksgiving, have a nice holiday, guys, everybody, and my best and my love all to you.
Thank you. Hey, I wanted to tell everybody, it seemed like there was a couple of parents on here who have had children cross. Thomas is doing a special group with a special rate for parents. I believe we have 1 or 2 spots left. I too have lost a child, so it's kind of near and dear to my heart. If anybody wants any information or needs anything, you can always email me at mediumthomas.com, info@mediumthomas.com. Hey, and Kayla, I wanted to answer your question. I don't know everything, but I've been with Thomas long enough and I've studied this enough and my son's come through enough, but you asked how long it takes for a, how long it takes for someone who's crossed over, Kayla, you asked. Thomas actually brought my father over 1 hour after he crossed, and we didn't even know he crossed. So Thomas told me he found an opening, which was Thomas giving a reading to someone else. And he came through Thomas and delivered a message to us. Oh, Liz, the email is info at mediumthomas.com. That's where you can find me. Sort of my path in life. So I've been told I do help other parents or anybody. I'm good at connecting, like if you've lost or not lost, they're not lost. If you've had a husband passed, I know other wives I can connect you to. I kind of like connecting people. Yes, you can connect to anybody on the other side, and we can all do it ourselves. If we can learn to get our minds quieted enough. One of the best mediums I know was a high-ranking military officer until her daughter passed. She meditated for 2 years and became one of the best mediums. One of Thomas' students, I knew her before she started giving readings, Phyllis Ocon, and she's amazing now. She studied with Thomas and she's amazing, but she doesn't meditate. She doesn't like to meditate. So I think it's all kind of up to, you know, however you all connect. But if anyone, one thing somebody asked about hell, this is only my opinion, but a lot of what I've read, hell is really one of the lower levels of heaven. Heaven has many levels, and what we consider hell is a lower level of heaven. At least that's what I've read. You don't have to listen to me. Thomas and Suzanne might have something different, but that's what I've always read. It was a lower level in heaven because we all go to certain levels as we learn our lessons in life. But anyhow, I'm always here if anybody needs anything, info@mediumthomas.com. For any of you parents, I think we have a couple of seats left, and Thomas, usually they're $400, and for parents, I think it's $195. Thomas likes to give back to parents whenever he can. Please visit Suzanne's website. I will put all this on the recording for you. Check your spam. And again, if anybody needs me, I'm Tracy at info@mediumthomas.com. Okay? Y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you.